We have a couple of our friends joining us.
We got a lot of minds in the room.
Mostly useless.
Oh,
Tom's gonna get stumped a lot.
I don't believe you.
He's wrong.
This is an all-star group.
Welcome to Ordinary Effort, where a bunch of random guys get some random baseball players and try not to biff the grid. We're talking about Immaculate Grid number 7, and for the first time, we have a couple of our friends joining us. It's not just me and Josh. I'm Mike, though, former stats analyst, Mets fan, as you know. We're here with Josh and my buddy Kyle, who self-proclaimed will be mostly useless unless it has something to do with Ken Griffey. And my cousin Tom, who is a history buff and also Mets fan. Josh, how are you feeling about this?
This is an all-star group. Kyle's underselling himself. Tom told us before we logged on he reads history books at night, so I think we're in good shape.
Baseball history books on every single franchise.
Yeah,
It was a long time ago.
He's like a literal walking encyclopedia of your favorite team.
No, this is not Stump the Schwab. Okay, this is
You're
something
right.
else.
It's Stump the Tom.
yeah.
Tom's gonna get stumped a lot.
I don't believe you. I've been watching you not biff this grid most days for the last couple of months.
Yeah,
We shall see.
I'm feeling good. Well, okay, I will say this. Normally, the two stat categories, specifically Gold Glove, and the Hall of Fame, these bug me. But I feel like, Tom, you probably have something up your sleeve here. Are you feeling inclined to start anywhere in particular?
Oh, do I want to just start throwing out names?
Yeah, which box do you want to start with? Let's get into it.
Sure, let's get into it then. What do you want for a Texas Gold Glover?
I know Palmeiro often gets a pretty decent score for Gold Glove, but that's because I've used him a couple of times.
Didn't he win Gold Glove with
that-
a very small amount of games played in defensively?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the obvious answer is Beltray, but you're not using that.
No.
That's the obvious.
Mhm.
So then you have to take a step back and think, all right, who else played Gold Glove caliber defense for the Rangers? Juan Gon.
Was he that good defensively?
Who?
Juan Gonzalez?
Juan
Oh.
Gonzalez.
yeah.
I mean, he had a cannon for an arm. So I don't know how well that Pudge, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
That's your other one.
I think Pudge is close to the most obvious.
That's true.
I would say Pudge most obvious, Beltray second most obvious, because we're talking recents, and then we can kind of try to move to the past. I don't know.
Didn't they have a second baseman just like 10 years ago who was a pretty
Kinsler?
strong?
Ian Kinsler?
Was Kinsler? Yeah, he was Texas, right?
Yeah.
He was.
I feel like he would have at least been close to one, especially in his younger days.
Josh Hamilton win a Gold Glove in center?
I don't know. I mean, we could play it safe here.
I'm wondering, just before we throw one of those guys, would any of their pitchers over time been like the pitcher Gold Glove? I know we in the past, Maddox is always the one that comes up for the Braves. Did he win one for Texas? I don't know. And I'm also wondering
it would
about
be
Nolan
Kevin
Ryan.
Brown. Kevin Brown
Yeah.
would be probably a pretty good answer there. Kenny Rogers.
The singer?
Yes.
Former Met.
Yeah, after the singer. Yeah.
All right. So what do we think we're honing in on? Do we want to go with a risk, or do we want to go something safe?
Go big or go home.
Tom, do any of those names you rattled off, do you feel good about one of them? That's not Beltray and Pudge. Are any of them you feel pretty good about, or?
I'd probably try to risk it if I was just kind of on my own, but this is my first grid and I want to make sure I get at least one right to start. I'd also think I don't know, I'm trying to think of older guys on the Rangers. That's kind of where my head's kind of moving towards now, trying to decide if any of those people probably were Gold Glovers.
That's where I usually get Palmeiro.
Palmeiro I think was a good shout, actually.
Let's go Palmeiro.
I think that'd be better than
Always
And we-
amazes me how
There
long
we
he
go.
plays.
Ooh,
All right, that's a nice-
6%.
It's a nice number. And
Kyle,
the
there you go.
useless guy immediately gets one. So there he goes.
right.
It always amazes me how long his career was.
Yeah.
He played almost
Yeah.
20 years.
What about Cleveland Gold Glove?
Did Sandy Alomar ever win one? Because I know he was a good defender.
Sandy
But-
Alomar Jr. probably won one or two, but,
But
he's
he
fighting
also-
against Pudge. He's fighting against Pudge.
Right, that was my next
Mm-hmm.
thing. But like he also had Pudge every single year as his competition.
I think Vizquel's the obvious answer for me.
Oh, that's right.
That's,
What about
that's the very easy one.
what
Right.
about Kenny Lofton?
Hmm.
I'm not sure if he was Gold Glover.
No? Okay.
All-Star, yes. Gold Glove, I don't know.
I think Kenny was pretty good in the field. I
He
mean,
was.
Jose Ramirez.
I wouldn't put Omar Vizquel in yet, though. Honestly,
No.
I mean, he's the easiest one.
Jose
Did-
Ramirez.
Did Shane Bieber? Why do I have his name in there as like the pitcher who would have won the Gold Glove? I could be wrong, but I feel like people forget pitchers in these categories, so I keep thinking about him. But I don't know confidently enough to say it, but I can just picture his name, kind of.
Mm.
Hey, did Stephen Kwan ever win a Gold Glove?
Kyle, that's your guy. Did Quan win it in 22?
I know he's a good fielder, so I wouldn't be surprised like if he was in the mix, but I don't know.
Did
I-
Baerga win a
I-
Gold Glove for them too? That would be the other guy I would think of.
Mm.
Oh, wait, did Roberto Alomar play for them?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he won a Gold Glove with them though.
He also played for Toronto.
What
did,
other
But we could
what
not
other
gonna-
second basemen at that time were really winning the Gold Glove over him though?
I mean, it'd be Baerga like earlier. When I think of the two of them playing together, it's Baerga and Vizquel,
you
right?
want to go Baerga, thinking Vizquel's going to be more obvious.
I would.
I
That
feel
was
like
my thought.
Lofton is still also plausible,
That's fair. I mean, I could be wrong there.
Yeah.
but I like the Baerga. I don't think many people would have gone with Baerga, and that might be
He's
why.
wrong.
And that might be why.
I don't know why that's the case though, because he was a very good fielder, and it just doesn't make a lot of sense.
You know why it is? Because the Gold Glove is a stupid category.
It's a stupid
It's
category.
not a stupid category.
It's
No,
not
Gold
great.
Glove isn't stupid like a Silver Slugger
okay.
is. Like
Well,
there's
in that-
nothing
that
nothing
case-
really to reward players for being good on defense.
Let's blow up this
Except
whole
for the
grid.
Gold
Put Lofton there, please.
You want to go for it twice, or do you want to just put somebody else?
I mean,
like
it
skip
doesn't
the
matter
box?
at this point, right? Like we're not going to get a low number. So
It
just show me how
matters.
wrong I was.
I mean, we could still keep it in like the low 100.
that's fair.
Yeah, let's
but
try
I
to.
don't really care about that.
Yeah, let's see
Let's-
if we can move around. If we get to
Alright.
one where we're like stuck between that one and Lofton, we can decide if we want to go with Lofton.
Yeah. I do think our threshold for trying to get a little riskier just got a little easier because we're not going to get immaculate. So like if we're on the fence about someone, like let's go for the risk. But let's try to figure out the Gold Glove. But I don't know how you guys feel, but like sometimes if I miss a box, I want to leave it open for a bit just and go to the next one. So maybe you want to do Blue Jays Gold Glove.
You want to go Roberto Alomar here? Actually, Vlad
was thinking-
Jr. just won one, I think.
I was thinking Tony Fernandez.
That's because he's
Oh,
at
that's a
first
better-
base now.
that's a better- well, yeah.
Springer's won one.
For the,
With the
did he win
Blue
one for the
Jays?
Blue Jays, or was that with Houston?
No, Blue Jays.
I think that's a good shout as well.
If Tony Fernandez, though, I think is going to be the one out of that list. I just feel like
I would-
recency. A lot of younger guys are playing this.
Yeah, I agree.
Didn't-
Watch me biff twice.
Didn't McGriff play in Toronto for a
He
while?
did, but I'm not sure if he won a Gold Glove
Yeah.
there or not.
No.
Because he's with the Padres and the Braves a bunch too. So
Olerud was up there too.
I know. I thought that too.
Bautista win one?
Olerud's better. Do Olerud instead. I love that guy. He's.
Do you think he won a
Let's go.
gold?
Did
Absolutely.
Bautista
He was a
win
good
one?
defender.
Okay. Okay.
No.
And
we
double
biffed
biff.
again.
Oh,
How about that?
man.
All right.
He definitely like. Oh, that sucks.
You know what? This is our first guest show. We got a lot of minds in the room. Like, you might
Tony
have been
Fernandez
invited
is
back.
definitely in there.
All right.
What's our guy here?
Why don't we go to the teams?
All right, I got a couple
And-
here just because I've said before, my wife's a Red Sox fan. I don't know if these are going to be the most rare guys, but Red Sox Rangers, I'm thinking Brock Holt. People
Love
forget
that.
he had that career there. And I think I've used this before, but Red Sox Blue Jays, Jackie Bradley Jr. had that really short stint with the Blue Jays.
We used
Nah,
him on the first grid.
Yeah, there might be better guys, but I just feel like Brock Holt's one of those like guys that people forget about.
That's a good one.
All right, let's
Uh,
do that.
I was gonna say Mike Stanley was my guy.
Oh, that's a good one too.
That might be better. Yeah.
I wanted to shout out Royce Clayton, but we could use him for Boston Blue Jays too.
You want to use Royce Clayton there?
Yeah, we can.
That's a good one.
Who else used Royce Clayton on this?
Yeah, I
Guess
don't
we'll
think
find
people are
out.
using.
Well, let's do it.
Oh,
Wow. And that is our first hidden gem of the grid.
Yeah.
1%.
Because we looked it up, right? He had what, 6 plate appearances for Boston once upon a time.
We were talking about it the other day.
Yeah.
It was like very few, but yeah.
Yeah, it came up while we were looking through stuff, and like he had so few. If we hadn't just found it that way,
Yeah.
would we even? I wouldn't think about. I wanted to think about him, like when I realized that he was on all these teams, it was like, oh.
Good call. So I got Tom. I think you might be on the same page with me on this one. Boston, Cleveland, backup catcher, former Met, Kevin Plawecki.
I think it's Plawecki. That's the guy I would go with.
Yeah.
I feel really good that people don't. Yeah, there we go. He played for Pittsburgh too. 0.3%.
Well, no. Actually, he didn't play for Pittsburgh. He's on Pittsburgh right now, but he's in the minors.
Oh, okay.
So he actually hasn't played for Pittsburgh yet. But I don't know why he's got the hat.
I don't know.
But he hasn't played for Pittsburgh yet.
It's another hidden gem. All right, let's go to the Hall of Fame.
All right, we've done the Hall of Fame category before, and I feel like the way we approached it was like what a lot of people probably play the grid do is like maybe we can try to find some guys who didn't have the longest careers on these teams that are listed, but made the Hall of Fame, like, you know, played a little bit for Texas, Cleveland, and Toronto.
So I know we used Vlad Guerrero on this one for the first grid, so maybe let's go a different direction. Nolan Ryan's obvious. Pudge Rodriguez is obvious. Are there any like? Tom,
if Beltre would be did he just get in or is he getting in?
Beltre,
so he's going to be obvious.
He's getting in.
Yeah. He's not in yet.
He'd be obvious.
Yeah,
he should be in.
Yeah,
I think so.
As far as like old school guys, off the top, Texas is tough.
I'm not usually great at the Hall of Fame.
Did Perry play for Texas? Gaylord Perry?
He may have. I'm not sure off the top. Like that's probably one I would think of. I know he played for Cleveland.
You want to put him there?
But
was he there a long time, or was he?
Not a long time, but for some of it, I don't know. Like,
what a good time.
I think Gaylord Perry probably fits better there. I like others as well, though.
For Cleveland or for Texas?
I'm trying to think of like
that's a
Ferguson Jenkins play for Texas.
Oh,
Fergie Jenkins.
You want to go Perry,
for
Cleveland,
Texas.
and Jenkins, Texas?
That's a thought.
Okay,
I like Jenkins in Texas.
Perry 2% for Cleveland, and then is it Ferguson or Fergie?
Fergie. That should work.
I don't think
I
all right, 6%.
And we got one more guess, guys. Look at this grid, how beautiful it is without those biffs. Like,
man,
this would have been sick. Like, we can do a redemption one day.
If I didn't show up and it was just like Kyle guessed, it would have been great.
No.
So
Blue Jays Hall of Fame.
Roy Halladay?
I wouldn't have had Hall of Fame.
Holiday is one. Yeah,
we would have people for Hall of Fame then. Holiday works.
I feel like he's going to be obvious though.
McGriff works.
Oh,
that's right.
I love using McGriff for Hall of Fames because he also has what, like 9 or 10 teams that he's been on.
It's not that many, but Padres, Braves, Rays.
I want to say like Rays right at the end. What was the other one?
Okay,
Braves definitely.
So you want to?
He was there when they were the Devil Rays.
Let's give him
the Crown Dog. It's probably high though, like 10%.
224 overall. Let's see.
With 2 biffs.
8% on Fred McGriff.
10.
Okay, so without the
I thought it would be like 10%.
Without the 2 biffs, what do we got here?
24.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's minus 200.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So, all right.
That's kind of wild.
All right. So, what are we looking at for Cleveland? Give me a Cleveland Gold Glover aside. For like,
we'll take.
Obviously, we have people.
Oh, Lindor.
and Roberto
That's
Alomar.
true.
I'm disappointed I put Baerga. I thought Baerga definitely won one.
All right, so we got 224 on this grid, even with the 2 biffs, which means
Ooh.
that if we had gotten the right guesses, we would have been looking at probably under 100.
Easy.
Yeah.
But we got 2 hidden gems, Kevin Plawecki and Royce Clayton. So not bad overall. 7 out of 9 on this grid. Check us out on socials at Ordinary Effort on Instagram and TikTok. And there's more videos floating around here. Check out our other grids.
Thanks for watching.